achieving optimal wellness is something that my daughter Alexis and I are both very passionate about. And in the new issue of Body and Soul magazine, we're on the cover. And we were asked to share the rules we live by when it comes to staying healthy. And today, Alexis, who's with a new hairdo, you look great, Alexis. You do. And
she approved.
Terri Trespicio, our editor at Body and Soul magazine, and thank you so much for coming. They joined me with even more practical tips that we can all implement in our daily lives. So let's get down it. On the cover, you put this cover line on the cover. It says,
you said it.
I don't diet.
The week it came out, my mother said, I'm going on a juice fast.
Well, I agree with you there. I mean, one of the big, tenets of Body and Soul is that we don't advocate going on these deprivation diets because they don't work. So we really embrace healthy eating like you do all the time.
Yeah, a juice fast is not really
No, but I mean, that has a functional point. I'm talking people who go up and down on diets endlessly and they don't work.
No, it's proven.
So let's continue the conversation that we started in the magazine.
So there are all kinds of good questions that you asked us.
One of them, and knowing that you both lead really stressful lifestyles, is what do you do to alleviate stress in your life? What's your go-to stress remedy?
Well, I go to the garden.
You go right to the garden.
Here's my gloves, which I sometimes forget, of course, and ask my manicurist, and and my handy clippers, and I go out and I prune a tree.
That feels good, doesn't it?
I dig some holes. I weed like crazy, and this has been a great year for weeds, so it's that's been very good.
So that helps you sort of get centered.
Yeah.
What about you, Alexis?
Clean the house.
Clean the house.
Maniacal.
Is that a punishment in a way, or do you actually enjoy?
No, I love it.
You like doing it.
And then you can calm down afterwards because everything's...
And you did something productive.
You did something you can see it, even though it's
Alexis
pathetic.
lives in a very large home and
it's very clean.
And has no housekeeper. So she's an inventor.
Nobody else lives there, so it doesn't get that dirty.
That's true. You're not dirty. Okay.
Well, I wish I could say house cleaning was my stress method, but something that I recommend doesn't look. You can tell, or else I look very relaxed. I don't know. One of the things that I recommend to readers and that I try to do, and even I have a hard time sticking to it, is every day take literally 3 to 5 minutes and just listen to your breath, just the rise and fall of your breath.
That would stress me out.
Yeah, I know it stresses you out.
It would bore me terribly.
3 minutes? 3 minutes?
I can't listen to my own breath.
Well,
it's not
well, why do you think most of us?
interesting.
I'd say, how many people do this every day? Probably not too many. The reason why we recommend it.
Well,
the
you're a
reason why
meditator.
I
You
wish
can
I did
meditate,
it.
right?
I can. I don't do it every day.
I have
should.
never been able to get into a meditative
Just sitting and breathing is not your thing.
No.
No. Here's the reason why it works, is that it actually, doing that deep breathing actually does help counter the stress
All right, what about
response in the
food?
body. What about food? So tell us about your...
We just want to talk about that.
Get off that topic. What about food? What about your perfect meal? You talked about your favorite breakfast.
Okay, one of my favorites is to take eggs from my chickens and just poach them. And a little salt and pepper.
Delish.
Alexis would put a lot of salt, but I put a little bit of salt and eat those.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of salt.
Yes.
Well, a farm fresh egg,
Delicious.
great source of protein, and so an excellent
You're
way
going
to
to
start
really
the day.
tell me that you eat that without any bread?
I don't eat bread
Really?
anymore. No, I gave up bread. Alexis told me to give up things that you like, bread. So I gave up bread.
That would be deprivation
Yes.
diet.
No.
What about you? What's your favorite meal?
I love spelt or whole wheat pasta and salad. I would eat about 4 or 5 times as much as
you would
this.
eat more than that. Yep.
This would make me very unhappy. A lot more.
That's just the first portion.
Yeah,
Well, spelt pasta, for people who know, wheat pasta, spelt
non-wheat.
is a little bit easier to digest. It does
That's
have gluten
yours?
in it. This is mine. I like
Sausage?
Well, it's not meat. This is the thing, and I didn't know that till I ate it, and then dug the label out of the garbage and realized it was a vegan sausage, and I had no idea. So I think it's really good. In a pinch, I mean, obviously whole foods are better. I like some blanched bok choy, some brown rice, and in a pinch, I do love the vegan sausage. It's a field roast kind of thing. It's good. So that's what I like. What about fitness? Let's talk about. You're both very committed to fitness. What do you do?
Well,
what's your favorite tool?
Once the show starts, I get a little bit out of my fitness routine, but yoga is very important, and my favorite tool is the yoga strap.
So what do you do with that strap?
Well, because you're sitting hunched over the computer like you're not supposed to be.
Right.
So this every day, this raises you up. It keeps your shoulders back.
Keeps pulling that back.
And you do there's many things you can do with this.
Lots of things. You could wear it as a belt, I guess.
And you can go around like this, and
Me
it
too,
really keeps your whole upper body more
Keeps it
agile.
loose.
Yes.
What about you? Got a tool?
No, I love the treadmill. Don't really have a favorite
Don't
thing.
have something you keep at home?
Yeah, and I know you're going to tell me that nobody likes this.
No?
No.
Really?
It sucks. It's so boring. Oh my God.
That's it's a jump
death.
rope. But a jump
Yes.
rope's fun.
Well,
it
it's
is fun.
It isn't fun.
It's more fun if you do it with people.
Sure, if you're clapping hands out
Right.
in
the park.
and you're 12.
I'll tell you what, when I don't want to go for when I don't want to go for a run or I want to do something, it's not nice out, and I want to at least feel like I did something. I'll do a few minutes while I watch TV in the morning, just a few minutes, and I don't know. I think it's a good alternative to get your
neighbors downstairs?
cardiovascular up. Well, luckily I'm on the bottom floor,
Oh, okay,
so no one
good.
hears me. But everyone's gonna have to try these.
Oh yeah, well, we're giving a strap to everyone in the audience and a jump rope from Prana. Who gave that? Everlast and
Yep.
Prana. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, maybe you'll find it boring. Why don't you breathe and jump rope? Try to combine two things at once. I don't know. So
Or hold your breath and jump rope. That would be really hard.
Well, and lastly, what about your healthy living tip? You had to give everyone one tip to make sure that it helped their long-term health. What would
Well,
it be?
I have two. One is to brush your teeth more times a day than you could imagine. Just keep brushing your teeth. And the
Then you
other
brush
thing,
off all the enamel.
No,
Go gentle.
No,
Go gentle on
You don't
the
even.
teeth.
Sometimes I don't even use toothpaste, and I just use the mouthwash.
Yep. I've done
And
that.
then don't ever, ever, ever stick anything in your ears.
Uh-oh.
Ever. I don't care. I just don't. I
No
will not do
Q-tips,
that.
nothing.
I will listen.
It's because
to
you don't
something.
like it.
What? Sticking
But
things
it's
in my
not-
ears?
yeah.
I know, but I think it's really bad for you. I'm going to be hearing very well until I am like 120.
That's what I'm afraid of.
What about you? What's your healthy tip?
Well, what I tell people to try to do is give up, as my mother said, one thing,
One thing.
that you like that's not good for you. And I think the easiest would be soda and or bread. It's one thing that you don't really need, and I think after a week or two, you learn to live without it.
Even after that, you just don't even
Yeah,
feel
you don't
the need for
no,
it anymore.
you don't.
You don't.
And then the trick is just don't go back. 'Cause
Don't go back to it. Well, my healthy living tip is something that is also fairly simple: sleep. I think we cut ourselves off at the knees when we don't sleep enough. Some people can get by with less.
I hate to
This
sleep.
one, she thinks it's boring.
It is.
I love to sleep. I get 7, 8 hours. I swear that is what does it for me.
Do you get 7 or 8 hours, Alexis?
I actually try to.
Tries.
do.
Yeah.
I
lately.
should try, but I
You'll
couldn't.
feel smarter
You might,
and funnier when you sleep at night. I swear.
Please try.
Well, thank you for your very useful and humorous at times tips. And before we go, I wanted to say hello to our new editor-in-chief of Body and Soul magazine, who's sitting right in our front row, Alex Postman. Alex starts in like a week or so, right? Oh, today. Oh, well, welcome to our company, and welcome to the helm of a really fabulous magazine. This is so good, and I can't wait to see what you do to evolve it. It's
Thank
really
you.
great.
I'm very
We have Matthew
excited.
Axe, the art director of the magazine, sitting here in the front row too, and thank you too. And guess what? Our entire audience is taking home a copy of this magazine, so read it, enjoy it. We'll be right back.